We are now live on YouTube. Chairman, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. This meeting is called to order. Director Gitterup, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chairman Johnson. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Chairman Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Sacks.
Here.
Commissioner Randall.
Here.
Commissioner Maldonado.
Here.
Commissioner Whitley.
Here.
Commissioner Ellis.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Here.
Commissioner Steele.
Here.
Commissioner Shi.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Very well. This is the portion of the meeting for public comments. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And everyone, thank you for joining us today to share your comments with the PBC Board. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, public participation provides an opportunity for residents to share their comments with our Board of Commissioners. Although this is not a question and answer session, staff are happy to follow up with you after the meeting. As a reminder, public participants must register 2 hours in advance of the meeting and are allowed 2 minutes to provide comments. As stated in the PBC's resolution adopted by the board, all public comments must be limited to issues of concern before the board or its committees. Remarks of a personal nature directed toward a member of the board, employees of the commission, or any other individual will not be permitted. Although we welcome public participation and public comment at our meetings, conduct or behavior that is not respectful or in violation of our anti-harassment policy will not be tolerated. Thank you again for joining us today. Mary Pat, if you can call up the first speaker, please.
Thank you. Our first speaker is Jessica Jackson.
So, Mary Johnson, the DNC is coming. Big event, all eyes are gonna be on Chicago. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen. You know, the Democratic Party switched up the candidate at the last minute, throwing us Kamala Harris. They expects, I don't know what they expect. That, I don't know, that Black people will just flock to her in the name of being a Black woman, even though she's not Black. But anywho, we got bigger fish to fry in the city. And those fish to fry are things like this, where we're paying all this money for illegals. And they got votes. Right here on 71st and Stony Island, where they housed a bunch of illegal immigrants, they got votes. While I'm coming down here fighting for my property of 61 years in my family, illegals got money to buy boats. And then they storing them on the front lawns to decrease our property value and to make our neighborhoods look worse than they already do. And we're supposed to get excited because the DNC is coming? Black people gonna want what we want in this city after the DNC is gone, just like we want what we want before they get here. And all these Black preachers can come out and parade around for a pseudo Black woman and try to shame us for not getting behind that. They can do it, it's not gonna work like it ain't been working. We're not blind, we're not crazy, and we sure not stupid. We want what's due us. So bring the DNC party here, bring out the celebrities, parade Chicago around, and watch how much debt we have when they gone.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Our next speaker is Ms. Elmaya.
I have attended all 4 presentations for the community regarding Morgan Shoal. However, I have yet to be at any community meeting or involvement. If you are truly listening to the community, we would be involved in the actual planning and development. We have yet to hear about the NEPA. We have yet to receive a response to our thank you note for the walk plus the memorandum. No response for the FOIAs. We need to know the timeline of the development project. Did you receive the NEPA? If so, then we have 60 days to respond. We have found several artifacts from the shipwreck. This area must be protected. A 75-yard landfill goes right up to the shoal. This must not happen. We claim our rights as human beings to the shoal, to swim with the shoal and with our dogs. Even if you prohibit swimming, we will swim there anyway. We are the wildlife we are failing to protect. We're the wildlife here to defend our habitat. If your redevelopment on 41st and 45th Street is such a disaster, then why should we entrust you with Pebble Beach? One of your officials told us that Parks and Recreation is only budgeted for redevelopment, not maintenance, which means that you get funded to destroy and rebuild, yet not to maintain. which means endless cycle of contracts while ignoring the needs of the human beings that spend much of their lives there and also the wildlife that actually lives there. This might go over well in other neighborhoods, other areas, but not this one. If you have no interest in maintaining the area, then simply remove all of the remnants from your failed attempts and do something different. If you want to protect DeSable Lakeshore Drive, then do so, but you must do so without destroying Pebble Beach. You must find another way. Just like the line goes in the song Save Our Shoal, we, the advocates for Morgan Shoal, have designed a brand new development plan. You can view this at our website. It is called The People's Rendering. This plan includes a wildlife and bird sanctuary at the northern point, a natural stone comfort station or preservation of the current historical comfort station already there with
Thank you,
no
Ms.
concrete.
Almaya. Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Zoe Lang.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, I got over 100 emails of Black people's property that have been taken unlawfully from the city of Chicago and Cook County. I also am getting, phone calls from a lot of Black seniors talking about the Obama Center that is displacing families. And something needs to happen. I understand the DNC is coming, but you know, there's a lot of national delegates are starting to reach out to me. NPR has reached out to me. CNN has reached out to me. That all eyes are on Chicago, and this is our election. This is Black America's election. Our properties have been stolen. I've been coming here for a year, and you know I've been coming here for a year as well as Miss Jessica Jackson. We need to sit down and have a conversation. We've been asking for this conversation. I know I've been asking for this conversation since the beginning, since I started fighting this. It is a problem. It is a crisis. There is no such thing as affordable housing. That is a hoax. I just left the community development commission meeting. All that TIF money that's being passed, that's not going to our communities. I am tired of it. And it needs to be someone needs to sit down with us and figure out why this keeps happening. This is a cycle that the city of Chicago has had for forever. Okay, 30 aldermen have been arrested and convicted. Elected officials been convicted, getting convicted. Like this is insane. You know, so I need help. I have an attorney. I already know I'm gonna win my case. So that's done. But I also, and they're giving me time to put the proper people on there that needs to be on that case, like my alderman, like Marlene Hopkins, you know, the person who you appointed who should have been out a long time ago. So yeah, I need help and I need you to talk to me.
Our next speaker is Mr. George Blakemore.
Black faces in high places, selling Black people out. Black faces, all politics is local. I'm not interested in Trump and Biden, but I'm going to vote for Trump because I hate these Democrats and revenge. Oh, the Lord's supposed to be revenge. I am God's children. We are, and I'm helping God out. Vote them out. All these Black faces right here. And I come up here every time I see this man back here, I'm terrorized by him. Do y'all think I'm coming up here lying to you that man attacked me in the middle of the street up here? Do you think I'm crazy? Mr. Blakemore, you keep messing with these white folks, they're going to put you in an institution and you'll never get your Black AI. Do you think that, and look at her right here. Look at it. Look at these Black faces. Look at them. Look at them and go to the Black ghettos. No economic development. Go to the Black ghettos. It's something evil here. It's something corrupt here. All Democrats here. When it comes to golden child, when the child economic blessing, when it comes to Black, we get peed on. That's your golden child. I hate you. And the way I'm going to fix my hate is vote for Trump. Revenge. I'm not waiting on God to give me redeemed. I'm gonna vote for Trump because it's illegal immigrant stealing from black people and giving to other people. I hate you, Democrats. I hate you. Y'all come down here. I try to get him arrested. Look at you. I hate you.
Thank you,
too.
Mr.
Yeah,
President.
I hate you.
Thank you.
I hate all of y'all.
Our next speaker is Mr. Kenny.
I hate you. All of y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Newman.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Commissioners. First of all, Ms. Hamilton, I'd like to thank you for your service on the PBC and your great service for the Park District. We will miss you. We are still waiting for a new president of the Park District to be named. I hope it's somebody who is easy to work with, as Ms. Hamilton was, and who was able to take advice from the outside. Meantime, Mr. Chairman, during your mayoral campaign, I spoke to you at Kenwood High School about building new athletic facilities for CPS. And you have built the field for Marshall Clark High School, but we need many more. I'm asking you to build 2 athletic facilities a year. I don't think that's asking for too much. I think that's about $14 million a year, $7 million a piece for a 400-meter track and artificial turf field. It's needed all over the city. There is juvenile delinquency all over the city. Wherever you build one of these, we will cut juvenile crime. It's up to you, Mr. Mayor. You're in the position now that you can do it, whether it's for Diet, for Kennedy, for Sullivan. The park space is there. Cherry High School has empty land next to it. That land's been empty for 40 years. It's time to build the fields for our youth and our students. Our students are suffering because of past discrimination. Not only, there wasn't always racial discrimination. It might have been religious. You need to learn history, Mr. Mayor, because there's things you don't know about Chicago. You did not grow up here. Things that I do know. The history of the city, I know extremely well. Please work with me, Mr. Mayor. We can make the city much more thriving place
Thank you,
where
Mr.
people
Newman.
want to live.
Thank you. That concludes our public speaking.
Thank you to all of our public speakers. Consideration approval of minutes of the regular meeting held July 9th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say nay. This motion is approved. Consideration approval resolution commending the incredible work of Commissioner Hamilton for her service as Commissioner of the Public Buildings Commission of Chicago. This resolution will be read by Director Gitteroff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Whereas Maidi Hamilton was appointed and approved by the Chicago City Council to the Chicago Park District Board of Commissioners on September 14th of 2021 and elevated to president on February 16th of 2022. And whereas on June 8th, 2022, Maidi Hamilton was appointed by the Chicago Park District Board to serve as the district's representative on the Board of Commissioners of the Public Building Commission of Chicago. And whereas in addition to her service as president of the Chicago Park District, Maidi Hamilton is currently the chief executive officer of Leadership Greater Chicago, a premier civic leadership development organization. She also served as past senior vice president and executive director of City Years Chicago, a national nonprofit that places AmeriCorps members in schools to provide near-peer mentoring, tutoring, and social emotional support to students to help keep them on track to graduate high school. And whereas Maidi Hamilton brings more than 25 years of experience leading innovative change in Chicago's education, nonprofit, and government sectors. She is committed to public service and philanthropy in Chicago, where she serves on the board of directors for the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry at Better Chicago and serves as vice chair for the Provident Foundation. And whereas Maidi Hamilton, a lifelong Chicagoan, has been acknowledged by Crane Chicago Business as a notable leader in community development, by lifestyle media outlet Make It Better as one Chicago's 38 top Black women of impact and a recipient of the Chicago Defender Women of Excellence Award. And whereas Maidi Hamilton's public service roles have deep roots in Chicago, she remains dedicated to the community. As president of the Chicago Park District and as commissioner of the Public Building Commission Board, she committed to improving equity and accountability, transparency, and community voice in government. And whereas Maidi Hamilton has distinguished herself and made numerous contributions to the PBC to facilitate its mission of providing sustainable facilities to improve the quality of life for Chicago residents. Now, thereof be it resolved that Maidi Hamilton is hereby commended by the chairman, members of the Board of Commissioners, and the acting executive director of the commission for her leadership and dedicated service to the Public Building Commission and the residents of the city of Chicago. And be it further resolved that the acting executive director is hereby authorized and directed to present an appropriate copy of this resolution to commemorate her service as a member of the Board of Commissioners of the Public Building Commission of Chicago.
Very well. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
There is, and
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion to it. I got you. All right, so there's been a motion to approve this resolution. It's been seconded. Are there any commissioners that wish to speak to this?
I do, I would say that
The chair recognizes Commissioner Stacks. He's moving quickly today. Go ahead, sir.
that's why I ran track with Cirillo McSwain. He always was a little bit faster than I was. It is, one of these things in life you get as a gift. And it's a gift to know you, to see your leadership, and to have your presence. And it is, in life, it's all about just the people. And you've been a remarkable friend and a leader. And I hope you only fair winds, as we say in the Navy.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? The chair recognizes Commissioner Randall.
Thank you. I want to recognize the work of your work here at the Public Building Commission, but especially at the Park District. You took over at a time as the president of the board. It was very difficult coming out of a pandemic and some other issues that were happening there. And I know, having talked to you during that time, how committed you are to neighborhoods and communities around Chicago of different backgrounds. And that's a hard job at the parks. People don't know, they think it's all fun, but it's actually not all fun all the time. And you're dealing with people where they are in communities, and that's why I appreciate your leadership. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you. Ditto. All right. Ditto from Commissioner Whitley. Any other commissioner? All right, leave off.
I move the resolution.
All right, but before we make that move, before we bust a move, if we just, Commissioner Hamilton, if you wish to say a few words, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. So I get a little emotional, because, as a Chicago native, I grew up on the south side of the city. And, you know, part of my story that I don't share a lot is that my grandfather was a model public servant. He was the vice president of SEIU Local 73. And every passion that I have in my heart was modeled for me in my heart. For our people, for the working class families of this city, and for our communities, especially those that have been most marginalized. And I know and understand the power of voice and the power of collaboration. So I can't really put words to it when I say it's been an honor to serve. So thank you. I've appreciated serving under your administration, Mayor, under the Lightfoot administration, and the opportunity and privilege to give to our city and to our people. So thank you so, so much. And each of our commissioners, thank you for your dedication and your service and what you do day in and day out. It is thankless and it's okay, because we do it because we care and we do it from our hearts. So I just want to say thank you so much. I've learned so much from you, and it's been an honor serving alongside you. Thank you.
All right, you're here, Commissioner. All right, so now there is already a motion to approve this resolution. Commissioner Sacks, were you about to make another motion on top of that one?
I just wanted to say that that the complications of all of the period that she came through was remarkable.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Commissioner Hamilton, for the legacy that you imbibe. Since I do have the floor as a social studies teacher, a reminder of the words of Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington was asked, what's the difference between a black boy and a white boy? And what he said was that the white boy knows and is always reminded of his legacy. And so his legacy holds him accountable. Where for black boys, legacy is cut off. And you are the hopes, the dreams, manifestation of our ancestors who understood that legacy provides us with the best opportunity for not just continuity, but sustainability. So thank you for being the best part of our existence. And so with that, with a stroke of a pen, I get to approve your resolution. All right, very well.
And thank you to the amazing staff at the PBC.
Yes,
Thank
that's
you.
right. That's right. Thank you. All right. So there's a report for the Administrative Operations Committee regarding the meeting that was held on the 12th of August, 2024. Committee Chairman Maldonado.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The AO Committee met on August 12, 2024. Our report is as follows. The Director of Procurement reported on 2 task order awards for specialty consultant environmental renovation demolition services to previously appointed firms. The report is under tab 858. The Director of Procurement reported on a bid opening for contract C1610 for the C.DOT Capital Program, Alleys Package 2, and contract C1611 for the Emergency Medical Services Addition Project. He also reported on the adoption of the City of Chicago's target market contract with Catalyst Consulting Group, Inc. for information technology services. The acting executive director reported on 1 field order above the reporting threshold and provided a recommendation to ratify a change order in the amount of $79,732.70 for the Belmont Cragen Elementary School project under tab A5B. He also reported on various outreach opportunities. The AO Committee accepted the recommendations and reports from the PBC representatives. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. And I think Robert's Rules of Order allows me to maintain order because I got so excited. We didn't vote on the motion to accept the resolution. So my apologies. All those in favor of accepting the resolution, commending the work and the legacy of Commissioner Hamilton, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you very much. Resolution approved. Now, is there a motion to accept the report?
There is.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to accept the report. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded by Sachs and Randall. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, say nay. This report is accepted. Now for consideration and approval of adoption of the City of Chicago's agreement with Catalyst Consulting Group Incorporated for information technology and related services for the Public Buildings Commission of Chicago. Director Gitteroff, please provide the recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The City of Chicago issued a target market solicitation for qualifications for information technology and related services. As a result of the city's publicly advertised procurement process, the city entered into an agreement with Catalyst Consulting Group, a minority business enterprise firm, based on the firm's qualifications, experience of their personnel, and financial status. PBC seeks authority to adopt the city contract with Catalyst Consulting Group in the amount not to exceed $300,000 on a task order basis. The agreement will include compliance with the PBC special conditions regarding minority and women business enterprise goals of not less than 30% MBE and WBE participation in the aggregate. That concludes my report for item A6.
Thank you, Director Gitteroff. Is there a motion to
There
approve
is
the
a
recommendation?
motion, and I have a question.
All right, there's a motion to approve this recommendation. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion to approve that's been seconded. Comments, the chair recognizes Commissioner Sachs.
Thank you. What is their expertise? What is their just technology is a very broad subject.
Yeah.
What is their specific expertise?
So
I'm for the motion. I just make that clear.
Fair enough. Thank you.
It's not a negative comment.
I understand. Director Gitteroff, can you provide some
I
specificity
can.
around there?
I can, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Sachs. Catalyst specifically provides support and maintenance for various IT applications and services, including maintenance support, functionality, and upgrades of our public-facing website, our classic website, our procurement database, constant contact, and all other required tasks as designated or assigned by the Public Building Commission. So it's been a great service that we get to be able to piggyback off the city's contract. based on the task order based agreement that we will have.
Thank you.
Is that satisfactory? All right, are there any other comments? There's a motion to approve. This recommendation has been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. This motion is approved. Now there's a report, acting director, executive director regarding the regular reports of development, status, and other matters. The chair recognizes acting director Gitteroff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since our last board meeting, we have participated in or hosted several community outreach engagements and are planning additional events. To start, on July 11th and August 8th, PBC's procurement and compliance teams attended the Government Procurement Compliance Forum, a strategic planning effort to drive cross-agency improvements to make the region a benchmark for procurement and compliance processes that are streamlined, equitable, and transparent. We are proud of the work our team does to provide meaningful opportunities to minority and women-owned businesses. On July 15th and July 16th, PBC's compliance team hosted virtual community hiring events related to our CDOT Alley projects, package 1 that was previously approved by this board. On July 31st and August 5th, we hosted community hiring events at the Avalon Branch Library located at 8148 South Stony Island and at the Hayes Park Natatorium located at 2936 West 85th Street. The in-person events were for the CDOT WPA Street Restoration Project on South Central Park Avenue and East 91st Street. These virtual and in-person community hiring events provide a unique platform for job seekers to apply to work on PBC projects and connect directly with hiring managers regarding employment opportunities. Finally, on August 8th, we attended a virtual community meeting with 4th Ward Alderman Lamont Robinson, Principal Callaway, and our partners from CPS and the local community to provide updates regarding the Kenwood Academy link and mechanical project. I will continue to keep you updated regarding our participation in events that foster community engagement. That concludes my report for item A7.
Thank you. We accept the report.
There's a motion to accept the report. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other comments related to this report? I just do have one quick one. When will our report or assessment be made available of the effectiveness of the hiring event? So in other words, individuals who show up at the hiring event, how are we tracking its fidelity as well as its it's the opportunity that it creates? How are we tracking whether or not it's effective or how effective it is?
Excellent question, Mr. Chairman. So what we do during these events is update our database with all of the residents that come to those events, whether it's virtual or in person. We share that database with our contractors, their subcontractors, and the hiring managers. In effect, as we work through that process and identify those opportunities and those employees or those residents are hired, we then further track that performance throughout the life cycle of the project. Our compliance director and her team conduct site visits and update our hiring initiatives based on payroll that's submitted by the contractors and the subcontractors. We will have further information at our annual board meeting to give you some metrics as to how we're performing and how that's working out.
Very well. What we want to be able to understand too, I think as a body, if there is a prototype of who is most likely getting selected and hired.
Yeah.
And then if there are barriers, as you mentioned, as we go through this process, people fall off, life happens, life starts to life. And so if there are things that this body can do in terms of our collective spaces, not just this particular body, to offer up better support so that people can be there for the life of these contracts. And I'm not saying that there is a overwhelming number of individuals who are not extended throughout the duration of a contract. However, in the event it is, we want to be able to know it. Like who's getting hired, the effectiveness of it, and how do we wrap our arms around these individuals who for them could be life-changing, right? And we want to create more opportunities for this because look, the bottom line is that people have lost confidence in government. They have. We have to be able to demonstrate that when government works, how do we do what works better? We had a budget meeting, hearing community engagement with young people. And I asked one of the young persons at the round table, what can we do as a city to better support? You know what he said? He said, do more of what you're already doing. A lot of times we think we got to reinvent something. We don't. It's pretty old fashioned here. Good paying jobs, stable development, and then, people can live and thrive. So thank you for that. So there's a motion. Any other comments? Very well. We'll look for that report. There's a motion to accept and there was a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. This motion carries. Now, consideration approval, partial undertaking request from the city of Chicago for the development of a Department of Water Management facility located 4825 West Lawrence Avenue. The chair recognizes Director Gitteroff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Proud to report that today we are partnering with the City of Chicago Department of Water Management on a partial undertaking request for a proposed new water management facility in the not to exceed amount of $2 million. Following approval, PBC's initial scope of work will include our collaboration to develop a program scope and budget along with the schedule of the project. We look forward to collaborating with the Department of Water's team on this important investment. That concludes my report on item B1.
Thank you, Director Gitteroff. Is there a motion to approve this
There
recommendation?
is.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comments? All those in favor of approving this recommendation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. This motion is approved. Now, for consideration of approval of undertaking request from the City of Chicago Department of Fleet and Facility Management for existing facility assessments at various locations. Chair recognizes Acting Director Gitteroff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're happy to assist and partner with the city's Department of Fleet and Facility Management on this undertaking request for existing facility assessments at various locations. PBC's scope of services may include technical, administrative, and management services, among others, in support of 2FM's operations. The funding authorized in this request has been identified as $100,000. We look forward to continued collaboration with the city.
Very well. Is there a motion? There's a motion on the floor to accept this recommendation. Is there a second? It's
Second.
been moved and seconded. Any comments? All those in favor of approving this recommendation signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. This motion carries. Now for consideration and approval to award contract C-1610 for the Chicago Department of Transportation Capital Program, alleys at various locations. It's package number 2. The chair recognizes Acting Director Gitteroff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On June 25th, 2024, with our partner CDOT's concurrence, PBC invited all contractors to bid on the CDOT capital program for various alleys at 9 different locations. The project consists of full depth alley pavement reconstruction and associated work. On July 10th of 2024, we hosted pre-bid and technical review meetings. On July 30th, 2 bids were received, and following review, we recommend award to Summit Construction Company, Inc., a minority business enterprise firm, in the amount of $6,709,143. A representative from Summit Construction is here with us today. We will continue to coordinate with our partners at CDOT on the successful delivery of this project.
Very well. Is there a motion to approve this recommendation? There's a motion to approve this recommendation. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comments? The one comment that I will say, the work that we are doing in various alleys throughout the city. Look, there's a lot of alleys. First of all, I don't know how you can be described as a second city and we have alleys.
Right.
So yes,
New York
that
has
is,
no alleys.
yeah, take that, Eric Adams. We don't even have alleys, right? But as we move towards, green technology as well as responding to environmental hazards as climate change, alleys are going to be critical, right? There are places in suburban Cook County where if rain falls too much, you can't even get through an alley, right? So this is a big deal. I know there's a long way to go, just much like we have to repair all the pipelines, on the ground here, the lead pipes, replacing those. So, but this is a start in the right direction. So it's moved. It's been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. This motion carries. Consideration of approval to award contract C-1611 for the Emergency Medical Services Addition Project that's located at 701 North Kilbourne Avenue. The chair recognizes Acting Director Gitteroff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On March 10th of 2023, the PBC approved an undertaking for the Emergency Medical Services Addition Project. The project is anticipated to provide a 3-story addition that includes hands-on simulation spaces, guild-based classrooms, and conference rooms to support emergency medical services training. On June 26th, in consultation with our clients, we invited all contractors to bid on the EMS Addition project. On July 9th, we hosted a site visit, and on July 10th, we hosted pre-bid and technical review meetings for the project. On August 9th, 4 bids were received, and following review, we recommend award to Path Construction Company in the amount of $30,922,000, which includes alternate number 1 for the procurement and installation of AV equipment. A representative for Path Construction is joining us here today. We look forward to working with the city on the successful delivery of this project to support the city's first responders. That concludes my report for item B4.
Very well. Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve this recommendation?
There is, Mr.
There's a
Chairman.
motion to approve this recommendation. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Hearing none, see no hands. All those in favor of approving this recommendation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. This motion is approved. Is there a motion to adjourn?
There is a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of the adjournment of this meening signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. This meeting is adjourned.